Welcome back to Swans Cast then, everyone. So I'm joined today by Scott, Lee and Alid. So welcome, boys.
Hello.
Hi.
So we're all quite disappointed this evening, as I'm sure everyone else is that'll be watching this video. But we'll try to talk about it the best we can. Not really sure how to approach it, but we've got a lot to maybe get into. But before we get into it, guys, I want to ask everyone a question, and I want you to answer it honestly, okay? Before we kicked the ball this season, where did you think we were going to finish? I'll start with you, Scott.
I would say I didn't think we'd improve from last season, so I think just outside playoffs, to be honest.
Okay, Lee.
Yeah, honestly, I thought like what we did last season, so outside the playoffs, just looking to sneak in. That's what I thought we were going to be.
Alid.
Yeah, I'd say around the playoffs.
Yeah, I think for me, I expected to at least match, but not really worsen than where we were. So I guess, like, what's that, 6th place? But maybe what I would say is, like, we get to playoffs before the last day of the season and the way that we got in. I think that would have been fair. I think that's important to remember going into the end of the season. That's the only reason I wanted to bring that up, because it is disappointing when we've got maybe automatic promotion within our reach. And I think we've been seen for a couple of games. It seems to be maybe drifting away from us a little bit. But we'll start off with tonight's game. So it's a 3-0 defeat away at Bournemouth. So they lost their last game 3-2 to Barnsley. They've had a recent change of manager and their form has been kind of patchy under him. It's not been like, sometimes you get a new manager and the team's flying out to the blocks for a couple of games, like Mick McCarthy at Cardiff. It's not been like that. However, you could say it seemed that it clicked for them tonight. They actually put a performance together for 90 minutes, whereas they've had a bit of a cliche to say they only played for half a match. Or you could look at it from the other side of the coin and say that we just were awful. Or, I mean, whatever you want to say. We could say it's Swansea's fault and they didn't play well themselves. So, Scott, what do you make of the match? For you on the spot there.
Scoreline flattered Bournemouth, I think, personally. I don't think they offered that much going forward. They had some good chances, but again, we looked okay. But people on Twitter have been asking for Swansea to put a performance together and pass it more, and that's what happened. We didn't get that 1-0 win like we normally do. We got a thrashing of 3-0.
I got a point to sort of carry on with what you said, and this is just because of something that Lee mentioned in the last video, and I'm not going to go at Lee or anything. Swansea had 52% possession. We were just talking about the fact that we won't have the ball against Bournemouth, weren't we? I just found it interesting that we've had more.
Yeah, but
no, I'm not criticising you. Just,
what did we do?
I just found it funny how that's happened.
I know.
That's all.
No, I know what I mean, but that on
Yeah.
paper doesn't mean much, does it? I mean, like the
No.
first 15 minutes of that game, they had all the ball, which was what I said. They battered us for 15 minutes, and they were 1-0 up, and then they looked like they sat off and let us have the ball then. Kind of a reverse of what happened to us against Luton, really.
Yeah, for me, it was kind of like a 1... I know it was a 3-0, but it was kind of like a 1-0 in a way. The first goal, that was it, to be honest. And that's kind of what we've done to a lot of teams this season as well. 1-0 up, and then they can't break us down, and you think that, maybe like having more of the ball or whatever. And we didn't really create the chances, to be fair, even though we maybe had the 2% more possession. But it's just interesting that, like Scott said, when we have gone behind, we've shown that we can still pass the ball and play a little bit more like that sort of system, rather than the couple of matches we've had recently, like Middlesbrough, the second half there, the Luton game, where it seems like it's always the other team coming at us. It's still there, but we just couldn't do anything with it. And when we got to the final third, nothing really happened. So
we're missing someone up front, don't we? How long did it take us to get a shot on target? Was it like 70 minutes?
I think it was
literally
Whittaker when he came on, wasn't it? So Lee, what's your overall review then of the game?
I don't know. This is the danger about doing it straight after, because it's probably a bit still a bit raw. Yeah, but I think I don't think Bournemouth were particularly good. I know they were probably better than they have been in recent weeks, but I don't think they were that good. They didn't really rip up trees. I wasn't that impressed with them. That Dan Juma on the wing, though, he was good in all fairness. So he had a he had a good game. He looked. I think he kept Connor Roberts honest. I think on that wing. But apart from that, I know, like you said, like we can play football, but I don't necessarily think that we did. Like they were 2-0 up. Second half, they allowed us to have all of the ball, and we didn't do anything with it. I don't think we sort of played much passing football in that second half. We were sort of knocking it about and sort of huffing and puffing, but we didn't do anything with it.
Yeah, I know it wasn't any sort of nothing came out of it, but it was definitely a different way of playing. But obviously, I understand as well the circumstances are different that we've gone behind. But I'm just asking that question, like, why does it take that to get me to like start stringing some passes together? That's what I'm trying to point out.
I mean,
we've been saying maybe it's because we've been tired and we're just sitting back doing this other type of game plan. But clearly, they've gone 1-0 down. As much as it wasn't positive in the attacking sense, still, they did pass it around more than I think they passed it around against Luton, for example.
Yeah, and we said it in one of the videos, didn't we? That we praised them in a way because they always seem to come back in the game, like Middlesbrough. As soon as they equalised, we went up the other end and did something about it. And same with Stoke, we went 1-0 down, and then we started playing, and Connor Roberts scored the good goal. So, yeah, you're right in saying that. I don't know why it takes them to go 1 or 2-0 down before they actually start forcing the issue a bit more.
Yeah. Alid?
I don't even know.
You're gonna agree with Lee if you want.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with agree with no. So we just didn't offer much at all.
Have I become that guy?
No, Scott was joking about earlier when he watched the video, I think, because Alid said like 3 times in the last video, because he came after you, he was like, yeah, I agree with Lee.
Yeah, it's because Lee says all the good stuff and then leaves everybody else with nothing, and then I've just got to agree with him.
If you want Dan, if you want Dan to start, mate, just say.
But no, I just don't think we offered anything at all. There was a lot of long balls, and no one was getting to them. It was always a low chase, and it was just pointless.
Yeah,
that was a lot in the first half. I feel like in the second half, we did play the ball on the floor a lot more, a lot less good, like long ball, pointless long ball.
That's down to the formation change, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, because like we obviously dropped the ball.
There was long balls, which you are mentioned, but I think there was less of us doing that than we have done in recent games. We've done that a lot more in other games. I think
probably Bournemouth, they had a really tall team and they had to just change their game plan. Normally we like hoofball.
Yeah.
But because they were so good in the air, maybe they've actually thought about playing it on the floor.
I'm surprised Bournemouth's team is so tall considering the way they've been playing for years. Usually you don't really associate that sort of football with tall teams, do you?
Yeah.
But they're quite a tall. You know, the first person I viewed tonight mentioned how tall Bournemouth were. Okay, let's have a look in detail with the goals and stuff. And before we get to that, I'll just quickly about my sort of match. Like, first half, like I said, the goals, kind of killed us off, really. The second half, though, like going into the second half, I think the second half of the first half, I thought we were coming into it a little bit. And based on Bournemouth's recent sort of showings where they tend not to be able to put 2 halves together, I thought coming out second half, especially when he changed it as well, bringing Whittaker on, that we might have actually had a chance to maybe, if we got an early goal, you know, it would have started asking questions, and I think that would have disrupted Bournemouth a little bit because of their recent lackluster sort of second half performances, or like only playing for 45 minutes. But we just couldn't really help ourselves, I guess. Like, it just would have made them doubt themselves, and we just needed to be a little bit more sort of have a little bit more threat about us.
Yeah, I think that's where the frustration is, because I think, an early goal in that second half would have changed the game, but it didn't really. Obviously they were, but it didn't seem like we were chasing it. Like when did you say the first shot on target was? It was like 70 minutes?
And, well, I think it was. I don't think it was the first one. This was, but the second shot on target that we had, because we only had 2, was Whittaker. It was actually a really good save by Begovic. That was probably our only proper chance, I'd say.
Well, they were both Whittaker, yeah.
Oh, actually, top right corner, wasn't it? That was a good save.
And the one that Manning
You'd probably say
cut across the box.
Yeah, you probably that's the one, isn't it? That Begovic saved. You probably say that was the more clear cut opportunity. They haven't registered it as a clear cut opportunity on SofaScore, but obviously it was kind of fired straight at him, I guess. But it was a good finish from Whittaker. Like, you can't really ask more in that situation. Good pullback by Manning. But that's as far as it goes with us in an attacking sense. So let's go back to the beginning. First goal by Bournemouth. Just trying to remember. How can I forget? The cross into the box, and there's literally just like pattern of the sea. There's just a Bournemouth player standing in the middle. You've got all the time in the world to do. To be fair, it was a really good finish. But when you've got that much time, then it's going to be a really good finish. I think, and I'll get this in there because you probably want to discuss it. And I think a lot of people on Twitter are probably using this as ammunition. I think it is a tricky one for Woodman to save because it's coming at him with such pace. Like, maybe he should do better, but it's a good finish. I think it's got to be. The question there for me is, why is he free?
Yeah, I think I tweeted about this and I used the John Travolta thing from Pulp Fiction when he's just like, because you're wondering where the hell the defense has gone. Like, there was two people marking Salaki, I believe, and then it was, I believe,
marking who?
Salaki, isn't it?
Solanke.
That's the same thing. Who cares? He's Bournemouth, isn't he? But yeah, just missed the guy come in. He just floated into the box, didn't he? Really? And
I don't understand how he was free. Like, I think it was Manning that was watching.
Ben. I think Norton's got the guy at near post. Bennett's come across, and who scored?
Yeah, but for me, like, Bennett comes across because there's another guy there. The next centre back then needs to come up further, and Manning needs to slot in behind there again. There's a gap between Bennett and where Latty would be, and then Latty and Manning just kind of standing there watching him just take all the time in the world to have a shot. I know they wouldn't be able to get back at that point, but why? Bennett is obviously in front. The ball is coming this way, passes Bennett to the guy that scores. The other two are behind him, so they should see there's a free man. Like, one of them's got to react. That's what I think. I don't think it's Bennett's fault.
Woodman should have done better.
Lee, being quiet on this one.
Yeah, I don't know. No, it's hard to pinpoint the blame on that one. I need to see it back again, but I think someone makes a run across the three centre halves, I think, and I can't remember, someone's following him, and I think Bennett's in the middle, and he sort of gets attracted, and he takes that extra step, and I think that extra step means that he can't get back into that gap. Yeah, but I don't know. I'm not actually sure whose fault it is, but I think it's just. Yeah, it's just a bit of a mess. It's really soft, especially the time. It came like really early on.
Do need to watch it again, but I'm pretty sure when I saw it, like, Manning and Latty just standing marking one player between them. So for me, I think Bennett's expecting one of them to cover, and you can see he does turn around and he's waving his arms. But if the cross is coming from that way and you see a free man, it don't matter if it's meant to be your man or not. Surely you've got to go there. He's literally in front of the keeper at that point. So.
Yeah,
but yeah, soft one to concede. Do you think Woodman should do better then?
Yeah, I think so. It's a bit harsh because it is a good finish. In all fairness, he does, but you can say he's not expecting it. You can say he's not expecting it because, go on. So.
No, I'm just saying he gets a hand to it. You should have a strong hand. That would have gone over the bar, but hey, that's just me.
You've got to have a good reflex in that position, and I guess that's what's let him down. But like, it could have gone any from there. Like, he's got the goal, the keeper, and he can aim anywhere, can't he? So you just got to get the reflex right.
I'm not one of these people who just call him for him to be dropped, though. He's still a class keeper.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, maybe he should do better, but for me, the bigger issue was the defending.
It was defense. Yeah.
You 1-on-1 with the keeper, then the attacker. You'd expect, if it was us, you'd want us to score. Do you know what I mean? If he was 1-on-1 with the keeper in that situation, so.
Yeah, Woodman's definitely not the main issue there, but yeah, I think he could do a little bit better because it seems like it's straight over his head. I think you could say he's probably caught by surprise that he's tried to overhead kick it, but I think even if he heads it from there, if it's in that position, he's got to save it above his But yeah, I think it's probably just a bit of a mess all round, to be honest.
Came from the wing. You said obviously Dan Juma done the left for Bournemouth against Connor Roberts. That's where the cross came from. So I wouldn't say it was one of Connor Roberts' best games. Again, same as the Luton game, but we can talk about that a little bit more at the end. A little bit of an incident involving him as well. Second goal, I think this one was a bit unlucky, but you probably got to do better as well from a corner. Like, no one really gets anything on it, and it just hits Latty's hand, basically, or his arm, and goes in.
It's like upper arm. And...
yeah, it's a bit of a disgusting deflection because it just goes in like bottom right corner, I think. And he didn't. I don't understand though. Obviously, the ball's coming in and everyone's missed it, but he kind of was surprised that it hit him.
Must have missed someone's head, probably.
Yeah.
And it just hit him.
I guess he's in a tricky situation where it's like down by your arm, so what can you really do? Because he's got no way of clearing. He can't stick his arm out because that's a penalty. And it's unfortunate that the way that it's hit him, it's ended up going in the goal. And it's definitely called Woodman off. I think this one is not Woodman's fault at all, really.
Oh, no.
But
definitely not.
No.
It's just a deflection.
We let him off, Howard.
Like, I don't really understand what he can't do anything because you're not expecting it to come off your own player for a start, and then when it does, he's like, "Oh, got to react," and it's too late at that point.
Did anyone? I think because
almost got there.
What was that?
Sorry, go on, Alan.
So I think he actually almost got there as well.
Yeah, he did a good effort.
Very, very close.
What was he going to say, Lee?
I can't remember now. No, I was going to say in commentary they seem to be having a debate whether it was Solanke's goal. But I was just like, I've completely missed something.
You watched on Sky, didn't you?
See him again. Yeah, but they were sort of debating whether it was like, Solanke's
it was
got
definitely an own goal, and it's been given as an own goal as well.
And it's Solanke.
Yeah, so I don't know whether he did get a touch.
No, it literally hits his arm. It hits his arm and goes in. From the when I saw the replay, I thought it was quite clear.
Yeah, it's got to be dealt with anyway before it gets up. I think it's got to be dealt with better.
Yeah, the height that it hits him, you can't really do anything at that point. So, okay, well that was a kind of a bit of a kick in the teeth. I think maybe if that doesn't go in, who knows? Innit? You only need one second half, and it's a little bit more sketchy for Bournemouth as well. They're defending a 1-goal lead, defending a 2-goal lead, and the way that the game went on, they kind of looked more comfortable.
It was just the time it came as well. It was about like a minute before half time. It was in extra time, wasn't it, of the first half? So.
And like I said, we probably had the better of the second half of the first half. We looked a little bit like we were coming into the game. It looked like, maybe we could take that momentum into the second half and take it from there. But two goals down, it's a different picture. And obviously Steve Cooper, maybe slightly forced, but he didn't have to bring on the sub that he brought on. He could have brought Cabango on, for example. But he brings on Morgan Whittaker for Latabodia. I'm a little bit confused though, because I thought Whittaker was a striker, but he seems to be playing him on the right hand side when he's playing him lately. I know it's not like often that he comes on, but the last twice that he has come on, he's come on to the right and he's keeping Ayew through the middle. I thought, because if he's the only striker we got, like Ayew has had a career over there on the right hand side. I know Cooper's made comments of him having Ayew closer to the goal. And to be fair, Whittaker did work hard and play well over on the right, but could it have worked better if he's in the middle? He made 2 of our best chances from the right, so just putting that out there. I don't know what you all think of that.
I've got something to say. I mean, Ayew obviously can play well off the right, and he will cut in and then lay it off or whatever, or take the chance. I think if Whittaker's there with the energy that showed, I think we got a real chance there, rather than the other way around.
And Whittaker's quite tall as well, so it just, we were talking about Bournemouth's height.
Looks like a wet noodle. But a tall wet noodle.
Interesting observation.
Well, he is. He's like that, and he's like me. He's really tall.
He is very...
Yeah. So I don't know about his strength, but yeah, it looks like he's a good player up front, to be honest. I think, I'm hoping to see him start the game.
Well, maybe, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
There was an incident in the second half, probably the only thing. There was a couple of chances, we already kind of touched on those earlier, but the only thing of note, Connor Roberts was involved with an incident with Diego Rico, I believe. Kind of looked like both of they both had their arms in each other's face. Rico's behind Roberts, who's holding the ball up, kind of like falling backwards onto Rico. Rico's arms coming over the shoulders of Roberts, kind of hits him in the face. Roberts reacts. Looks like a little bit of an elbow, maybe. Rico goes down and's crying on the floor. What do we make of that then? Because the commentary seems to think Roberts got away with one.
Dickhead. So just because he's on a yellow card, I think I don't know who said it. Alid might have said it when we watched it. Yeah, when we were watching it, he just went down like that because he was on a yellow card. If the ref actually seen that in probably real time, that could be another yellow for him if he's hitting Roberts in the face.
I thought yellow for him, but the commentary we were listening to thought Roberts got away with not getting sent off.
Yeah, that was a weird one, that was.
I don't know, I'm kind of not... I don't think it was a red on Conor Roberts, but when I did see the replay back, because I didn't really see it in normal time, but the angle they showed it on, it was sort of facing Conor Roberts, and he's just shown him go like that, put his elbow back, and I just thought, oh my God, he's going to... Yeah, I think so, but my instant thought was he's going to get sent off here and miss the Cardiff game.
There was two, like, they both had contact to the face, so if he did get sent off, I feel like it would have been harsh because he's only done that as a reaction to Rico's arms coming over his shoulder in the first place and making contact with his face. So, yeah, you shouldn't elbow him, I know that. But any contact to the face, like, you can get sent off for these days, can you? And why are his arms coming over his shoulder when he's behind him? Like, there's literally no need.
It doesn't make sense.
You're playing football, the ball's on the floor.
What's weird is it's his left arm that comes over Roberts.
He's trying to drag him back. He's trying to pull him back, like drag him back like that. And then obviously Roberts is reacting by going like that. But obviously the refs, he spoke to the linesman, and I think they came to the decision they both at it at the end of the day, so just leave it go, which is probably the fair decision in the end. But yeah, it could have perhaps gone either way there, and luckily it didn't go. You know, the way the game was going, you could have seen us maybe having a little bit more bad luck. And then so we had a couple of chances. Whittaker, good shot to the top right corner, saved. Good ball by Manning, kind of smashed into the box really, and low shot. Begovic saved that one. It's pretty much all we had to offer. You saying something there, Scott?
Oh no, it was Whittaker that hit it in the box, wasn't it? Not Low. Or do you mean like a different shot?
No. I was saying Manning fizzed the ball across.
Oh, right.
And then Whittaker, a low shot.
Low had the shot, I'm like, nah, mate.
Yeah, not Jamal Low, it was a low shot. Yeah, sorry. And then Danda comes on, which, you know, I think he tried, but yeah, it didn't do much, did he?
No comment.
No, go on, Lee.
No, I don't want to be. I don't want to be like I don't like dislike Danda because I think he is a good player. But all I meant was I think he did the right thing where that's what I think he offers to the team is that you bring him on 65 minutes when we need a goal, and he did get on the ball. He was getting on the ball and trying to make things happen, but I think the game was gone at that point. There's nothing he could have done there.
Yeah, I think he was trying to make things tick. He was active getting the ball. He was trying to speed things up a little bit, and he was playing a little bit more risky passes. A lot of them were getting intercepted, which people were criticising for. But I like to compare this to Pablo Hernandez because everyone used to slate Pablo Hernandez for us for giving the ball away all the time. But he would try things and no other player tried, and that's why he gave the ball away. But then when it comes off, ball against Cardiff where Routledge scores, just saying. That was perfect.
Well, you know what's going to happen on Saturday now. Dander's ball into Routledge. It's happening.
But it's the same sort of thing, isn't it? He takes more risks, and people always like to point out when it goes wrong. But you're right. He couldn't really do much. He was kind of unwinnable situation.
In a bit of hindsight as well, I mean, there were a few things that Lowe did try and he lost the ball.
Don't talk about him.
We're not talking about Lowe, we're talking about Danda.
Yeah, I know, but I'm bringing it on to Lowe, trying things, but then losing the ball.
Look, Lowe is just waiting till the weekend so we can score another brace.
I hope so, because he had an absolute shit game.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to come on to individual performances now or later, but
let's just finish on the last goal and then we'll go on to them, okay?
Go on, then.
So
go on, then.
And the final point is Dan I wanted to say, as much as what we said, he looked powder puff in midfield. There was one ball that came over the top, just landed by him, and he just got pushed out the way. Bournemouth were on the counter. And you heard our bench screaming for like a foul, but it was definitely not a foul.
And this is what I mean. Like I don't dislike him again. I just think that is what he's going to offer.
Yeah.
I wouldn't start him, and I'd bring him off the bench at 60 minutes when we need a goal because something happen. But for me, he doesn't start.
And like I said, I agree with you in the fact that he's a luxury player. Okay, I fully agree that he is a luxury player. And I know DC Jacks on Twitter will be fighting me on that, but he's a luxury player. It is what it is. Okay, so third goal. To be honest, I don't think it really matters because we were pushing and we got caught out. The ball's given away softly, and they just come down and score. Inside post on Freddie Woodman, so say we want about that. What do you say? Who scored?
No, I was going to say, was it Scott who said, we're going to lose the ball now, and then something happened, slides
but that's
in,
because
like,
he saw a notification on his phone to say that they scored. Yeah.
I knew the goal was coming, that's why. I was like, I bet we'd lose the ball here, and I was like, yep, here it comes then.
Yeah, so...
and I spoilt it in the group again.
Nah, we seen it before you then, on that one.
That's all right.
Just wanted to tell you to shut up.
Fair.
But yeah,
most people do.
It doesn't matter really. It wasn't going to change the outcome of the game. It does make a goal difference worse. So we'll have a look at the table. We were already struggling on goal difference. Go on, Aled.
I was going to say 13 goals conceded in our last 8. Prior to that, we had conceded 12 and 20.
That was never going to keep up for the entire season. I think we all were aware of that. I think we knew in January we needed firepower because we were relying heavily on our defence. And to be fair, that's what's happening, isn't it? So, but yeah, goal difference was a concern in terms of like if we finish level on points with Watford or Brentford, I think we'll have to accept that that's them in front of us. So yeah, 3-0 today. Maybe it makes that worse, but I couldn't see a change in any way. We don't score enough goals. We are still third in the league. Derby did do us a favour, so they came back from 2-0 down against Brentford to draw 2-2 the game, so they stay in 4th position, same amount of games played. They are 2 points worse off, so they're on 67, we're on 69. Watford, however, now are 3 points ahead of us. However, and it's not all doom and gloom, as negative as this video might have sounded, because we still have a game in hand on them, which theoretically, I know it doesn't work like this, but theoretically, if we won, we'd be on level points. But, as I said, goal difference would mean they're ahead of us, but we play them on the last day of the season. So, technically, if both teams won every game until that game, we still only have to beat Watford, but that's probably not going to happen. I'm just saying, it's not the end of the world. It is technically still in our own hands. Technically. Okay? So don't shout at me.
No, look, I'm
just saying it how it is.
I think you're right. I think we just desperately need to get to this international break and still be like within like 3 points or whatever. But again, it's a bit crap because Brentford and Watford play before us on Saturday again, which is rubbish. So the pressure's on us again if they've both won. And it's the derby. But we just desperately need to get that international break. After the international break, I think we've got the best fixtures out of the 3 going for the top 2. Watford play Brentford and then us last 2 games of the season.
They need it wrapped up really because otherwise they've got a lot of pressure. So even if Watford go like and get a little bit of a gap, it's still not over because they've got to play the 2 people that are challenging them. And even if Brentford are like, okay, they're still 5 points ahead of us, they go and win. They've got 2 points then potentially, but they know they're playing Swansea, who are also in the running, and that's a hard game for Watford. So it's not, I think it's safe to say that all 3 of us are probably going to have something to play for by that point. So it's not going to be a rollover sort of game. So it could still go down to the wire.
And I think as bad as we were tonight, I think that's the only positive spin we could put on it. I think the games after the international break, it's like Millwall and Birmingham and Wickham, I think, is 3 in a row. So I think you've got to get 9 points there. If they don't, then we can say that we're probably going to be in the playoffs. So I'm looking at Cardiff on Saturday and then those 3 games. to see if we are actually going to get promoted. So
yeah, you did have a good point there, and you are right. I think Swansea do have the more favourable fixture list at the end of the season. So this was one of our tougher weeks now. Bournemouth, Cardiff. Okay, we lost one of the games, but I don't think either three of us are going to go unbeaten till the end of the season. I can't see it. Might be wrong. So yeah, we've got Birmingham, we've got Preston, Millwall, Wickham, QPR, and then we've got Reading, Derby, Watford. So Reading and Watford are the ones that you'd think are the ones that are like the trickier games. Derby might be safe by the time we play them, so that might take, they might be on the beach if you like, if that's what the saying is. QPR, mid-table, Wickham, probably, they could theoretically be down by the time we play them. So that could be a bad thing though. With sometimes that works in the other way, but they might be fighting for their lives still. So that could be a difficult one. But we are home. Millwall mid-table, Preston mid-table. So and Birmingham, we're playing them obviously. That's the first game after the international break. That will also be like Lee Bowyer's second game in charge or third game in charge. So see what impact he has. Hopefully he doesn't have a good new manager bounce. Cardiff, though, is the big one. So I think if we win that game, everyone forgets today.
Let's make Welsh history.
Yeah.
Let's get that double.
And you've made a good point in the last video, Lee, saying we haven't always gone into the derby in good form. So it's as if maybe they're thinking ahead to that, and then it affects the performance of the game before.
It's definitely in the back of their minds. No matter what they say in that camp, no matter what player comes out and says we're not looking at that game, they 100% know that Cardiff is Saturday. That is in the back of their mind.
And Cardiff too as well.
I'm not saying it's that. Yeah, so I'm not saying it's that clear cut that they're all sitting in the change room talking about it. But I mean, Connor Roberts is quiet. There was a few quiet performances. You probably think when we're 2-0 down, they're probably thinking, let's not get injured. Let's not go into this challenge too hard. It's got to be in the back of their mind.
So Cardiff drew 0-0 with Stoke. I actually had a message off a friend who's a Cardiff fan saying, you don't need to worry about Saturday. We are awful. That's what I said. So I basically copied the message back to him and sent it to him. So
yeah, we're both.
But he's not even after the run they've been on. It seems Mick McCarthy's had a new deal. They're not confident now. They had manager of the month, and they just fizzed off a little bit. He said as well, if Kiefer Moore is not in the game, then that's it. They're done, basically. So, and Harry Wilson didn't start today, so whether he starts the weekend, hopefully he doesn't, but he probably will. Anyway, we'll talk more about Cardiff in the pre-match of the Cardiff game. And maybe we can do, over the international break, we can do, a little bit of a video on the run-in for each of the three teams and analyse that in a little bit of detail. Maybe that could be something that we do in the gap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
But I know you wanted to touch on individual performances before we finish, and our predictions, if anyone wants to actually go there. But actually, a lot of you weren't too bad, so... individual performances then. Anyone you want to highlight the start on first?
Jamal Lowe.
Oh, you go then. Go on then.
Yeah. He was just shit. Okay, it's a bit harsh, but...
I have sympathy for him.
What did he bring to that game?
I feel sorry for him because when he was playing well and scoring, compared to the way we are playing now, I don't know how we can get in the game. I know we lost the game. They lost the ball quite poorly sometimes, but I just think he's low in confidence now because we can't give him anything in the game. We just can't get him in.
I'm past feeling sorry for him now. I thought. I did feel sorry for him.
I'm just trying to look at it.
Yeah, no, I did. No, I know. I did feel sorry for him, and I thought, he looks tired and everything. But whenever he plays now, whether he comes off the bench for whatever he did on Saturday, half an hour, or whatever, he just doesn't offer anything. And tonight, I thought actually at half time when he moved him to the wing, which everyone says he's not a striker, he's a natural winger.
Here we go.
I thought, he's going to go out on the wing now, and he's going to do something. He's going to settle in here, and he was awful.
He was worse.
He was worse.
He lost the ball about 7 times in a space of 10 minutes.
Yeah, he's definitely more in the game. He just was awful. Yeah.
But yeah, there you are.
Anything else on Jamal though? Got nothing to say, Alid?
Sorry, go on.
I'm gonna keep quiet. I mean, in terms of SofaScore, he has got the
6
lowest.
rating, yeah.
Yeah,
Joint with Freddie Woodman,
rating on the
actually.
pitch. Yeah, with Woodman. Yeah.
Oh, you are? My two.
I
I'm
think,
joking.
Meanwhile, Whittaker was on for
Yeah.
a half, and he gets a 7.1, and that's
Oh,
was
Sofa
2
Score,
shots
he's
on
got a
target.
7 on mine.
7.1 for me. It said.
Ooh,
went to
fight.
player statistics.
Well,
Oh,
regardless,
sorry.
Aled
I
can't
was, I,
read
was, I
clearly.
was looking at the wrong one. Yeah. But
Aled's looking at someone else's
a
name.
7. It's a 7.
Oh, that's amateur, that is, Aled. We're trying to have a professional production here. Jesus Christ.
7 foot tall he is. That's what he's looking at.
Yeah, okay, if you're basing on the Sofa Score ratings then, so a couple of others that didn't really perform according to them were Latabodia, but let's bear in mind his score's going to be low because he only played half and he scored an own goal. Regardless whether it was his own fault or not, it's going to knock his rating down. I don't think he was awful, really. Although I was putting him a little bit at fault for the first goal as well. Him and Manning, whatever, they need to have a discussion in the changing room and sort out whose fault that was. Manning 6.4. I actually thought you did okay, but I thought he was okay. I mean, would Bidwell have changed anything? I think he would have been the same. Don't think he would have changed. I'm not sure Bidwell puts that ball in that gives Whittaker the chance.
Floated back post normally.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, Connor Roberts would have done a salmon instead. Maybe he would have scored. Speaking of Connor Roberts, 6.3. Again,
quiet game.
Maybe that says it all though. Wing backs, they just not being able to get forward. People know, stop the wing backs. Swansea don't create chances.
You have to say the wing backs, they did have a formation change and they weren't wing backs the second half, were they either?
No, but we also didn't have a shot on target in the first half and we had 2 in the second half, so we changed it and started attacking in a different way. Obviously it didn't work, but normally, normal formation, stop the wing backs and we can't create a chance. And it was true again, to be honest.
Yep.
Like Lee said, Dan Juma was keeping Roberts busy. Stanislas had a decent game until he went off the other side, and Billing in the middle as well, like Ansolanke up front, like they were all quite busy. Ryan Bennett 6.2. What have we got to say about that one, Lee?
Just fake news. Nah, he was. It was nobody stood out really. Everybody had a sort of quiet game, didn't they? Nobody really.
For me,
like Horahan was quiet as well.
I thought Kyle Norton did a good game. For me, I think Kyle Norton was probably one of our betters.
Yeah.
You've got to pick a man of the match.
A few key challenges. I think he did quite well. So for me, I would say my Swansea man of the match, even though no one really deserves it, I would give it to Norton. But yeah.
I agree.
Let's look at the midfield. So Horahan, Grimes, Smith. Again, quite quiet, but I think Smith just hasn't looked the same since his injury.
Yeah, the first 10 minutes of that game, he was giving the ball away really cheaply as well, to be honest, and he needed to wake up, which he came back into the game a bit more, but yeah, like you said, he doesn't look the same, does he? Horahan, bloody hell, didn't even see him all game, I don't think.
Well, no, he did have a free kick, which he hit the wall.
Alright, sorry. Seen him on the free kick, but nothing else.
There was one in the first half as well, where he's in a lovely position outside the box and seems to open up, but he will not hit it on his right foot.
Yeah.
He hasn't got a right foot.
It was
just, I was crying out for him to hit that, though. I thought it just opened up lovely and he just sort of slid it across to...
I did the same in the second half, but on his left foot, which was weird, because you just thought he was going to curl that in with... But I think he ended up trying to play a pass or something, and it goes up for a corner. But he was just running like literally across the box. And he was like, he's going to hit it. No, he's going to hit it. No, he's not. He's going to hit it. No.
Yeah, we were screaming for him to hit it, weren't we? Or do something.
Yeah.
Because when we got the ball about 20 yards out, all you can hear is me and Luke going, "Hit it!"
Yeah. But okay, so changes we make for Cardiff then. For me, I put Felton. I think Felton's got to start on a weekend. I just think he needs to be in there. So for me, I would drop out Smith. Or I just maybe you'd be better with Felton in there, but like Cardiff, how are they setting up these days? They're doing the same formation as us, aren't they? 3 at the back.
Are they? I don't know.
I'll have a look at their setup today. They did play 3 at the back, 3-4-2-1.
Copy in.
So, well, they're playing like
matching us.
It's not quite matching. It's slightly different in the midfield and forward area. They don't have the 2 up front. They got like a 1 up front with the 2 behind him.
Yeah,
Which we've done a couple of games, I guess. But is Geehee back? Anyone know any news on him?
I don't know, but he was a big miss again. He needs to come back in.
I think he is. I think he's alright for Cardiff game. I think they're just resting him for it.
Nice to see that Bennett and Norton got through without any...
Well, Norton had a bit of a couple of...
he had 1 or 2 knocks, didn't he?
But it wasn't a muscle injury, which is what is the normal thing.
Surprised you didn't bring Cabango in and played both of them, though. And played them through the 90 minutes. That he brought Latabo here. Because I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised if we hear now, like Thursday, Friday, that Bennett or Norton are injured.
Yeah.
Cabango's had a couple of games against Cardiff now, and he's played quite well in them, so I wouldn't be against him coming in. Like Latabo went off injured, so I'd imagine he swaps out whether it's Geehee or Cabango that comes in.
Bennett, Cabango, Geehee, if they're free. Well,
Norton,
yeah.
I don't know if he should be dropped.
That's a good debate, actually. Which is the best 3 to play?
Yeah, that is. Maybe I would match him and drop Jamal Lowe and swap. Bring Felton in for Jamal Lowe and play Ayew Horahan and a 3 in the middle. Again. Yeah, or just a 3 in the middle and just have Ayew with Horahan off him, just like. So you've got that solid base, because obviously if they're going to keep hoofing it up, you've got that extra body in the to pack out the midfield.
Ayew, Whittaker.
Yeah, maybe, I was just going to say, for me...
Yeah, I was going to say,
for me, whatever he says about Whittaker being for the future or anything, he was the best. For me, he was my man of the match tonight, because he was like our best player on the pitch by far when he came on. I know he's probably not going to play him, but for me, I drop Low and bring Whittaker in, even if he doesn't do it against Cardiff. Maybe it's a bit too big for him early on, but maybe after the international break, I'd be playing Ayew and Whittaker up front, because if he's going to play the 2 up front with Low doesn't do anything at the moment, so you may as well put Whittaker in there, where he's going to run and he's going to create something.
Also, you said it might be too early for Cardiff, or maybe it's not. Maybe that's the sort of game where you spring a surprise and he gets a debut goal, like Ben Wilmot, for example. I think, actually, was it like when we went into that game last time, like all of our the home game, all of our defenders got injured and we ended up playing Wilmot and Cabango, and it was basically like 2 debuts or something. Or maybe Cabango had like 1 game or something before, not many. But we were just like, shit, we're going into this with like 2 kids in the back who basically haven't played. And got the goal through Wilmot. And I loved his tweet the other day after Watford won, saying he loves to play Cardiff.
Yeah,
really
fair play.
But yeah,
I don't think there's any... I was going to say, I don't think there's any risk to playing Whittaker.
Okay. Yeah, it probably isn't. I mean, if Lowe's not doing anything, then what's the harm? If Whittaker doesn't do anything, then it's the same. You are?
What's your thoughts on Lowe?
Me?
Yeah.
No need to feel low.
Oh, you bastard. What a dick.
No, I do feel a bit like he isn't doing anything at the moment, and that's the bottom line. We need results, so we need performances. I feel like the way that we've been playing of late is a contribution to that. His confidence has probably fallen off a cliff as a result, and that's probably the reason, but I don't think that's an excuse to keep playing him. So I already called a couple of games ago to go to like a diamond and drop Low off for that. So, and we did do that, and I'm surprised. Like I said, for me, today, I would have kept the same lineup against Luton, maybe bring Felton in for someone. But that would have meant Dander was starting instead of Low. So that's what I would have done today.
I'd rather Dander start up there instead of Low at the moment.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Well, to be fair, Dander got the assist. Low hasn't got an assist this season. There's another stat.
I feel like when the ball gets played to Dander, whereas for Low, the ball's just always played over the top. But
that's what I mean. I kind of feel sorry for him because We're not really playing to what he is good
supply
at.
Isn't there.
And then when he gets the ball, he probably doesn't know what to do.
Is he a luxury player then, Luke?
Maybe he
we
is.
Don't play to the way
Maybe he is. But Cooper obviously has tried to make this. I don't know. That's what he wants. He wants to play him as a striker, and that's again a different debate altogether because he's shoehorning him in. Maybe it's not the correct thing to do. But then we didn't get a solution. So what do you do? One of the solutions we potentially got can't even make the bench anymore because he's fallen off a cliff. Ariola again didn't make the bench.
What's going on there? He's injured, mate.
Is he? Is he really? I'm surprised he hasn't been sent back to America. He may as well go back to America. Anyway, let's move on from today's game. Let's just have a look at our predictions. So, Alid, you said 1-0 Swans with a Grimes goal. I think he had one shot, to be fair. Didn't go anywhere near the goal, though.
Corner flag.
Alid's frozen on my screen, lads. I don't know if you can...
he's not frozen, he's just in shock.
Oh, well, I think he's been petrified, boys, so we have to just... Maybe he'll come back. But, oh, that's brilliant. Anyway, sorry, Alid, no points for you. Lee, 2-0 Bournemouth. You're quite close.
I was gutted when they scored the last goal. I was gutted when they scored the last goal because I was thinking I said 2-0 and I need the points. And then they did that.
Well, they still get some points.
Yeah.
Well, I went 0-0, so I get nothing. And I went on a Bournemouth channel and said that as well, so feel for me. Chris said 2-0 Bournemouth, so he gets points 2. John said 2-2. Wishful thinking we were going to score 2. Scott said 2-1 to Bournemouth, so you get the same points as Lee, even though you predicted Swansea to score. Who was your goal scorer for Swansea, out of curiosity?
I think it was Ayew, and I said penalty.
I'd have loved if you said low then.
Oh, yeah, I said low and he was shit.
Everyone's going to say low for Cardiff, though, aren't they? Let's be honest.
100%. You have to. And you know what? Cooper's going to start low just because of the last game against Cardiff. That's the thing, isn't it?
Or maybe... We're not gonna he's come back. We're literally finishing.
Come back when we're about finished, yeah.
I know. Yeah, so any final words?
Upper Swans.
Only one thing I forgot to mention. We had every single corner that we took went short when Bournemouth are notoriously bad for defending set pieces this year. And I think it was only the one in like the 80th minute we actually put in the box and gave away a free kick. Because they made a point before the game. They were saying, oh, Bournemouth don't defend set pieces that well. Comparing them to us, saying we defend them well. And every single corner went short.
We defend them well, and then we.
That's it. I had to say that because now everything is off my chest, and I can go to bed happy.
Yeah.
I remember one other corner that Begovic just collected.
Right.
So there were two that we put into the box.
I'd imagine they'd probably just done that because of the height advantage, but yeah, maybe that was the wrong decision. Because Connor Roberts wasn't even long thrown into the box.
No.
So I'd imagine that was the reason, but who knows? We're not on the coaching team. We don't tell them what to do. Anything else then, boys? Scott, Aled, any last words?
I think so.
Get me out of here.
Look, as I said, if you turn around to win now on a weekend, everyone forgets today, and it doesn't matter anymore.
To be honest, if we win on the weekend, I don't even give a shit if we don't finish second. We've done the double of Cardiff.
Yeah. That's the bigger thing. Yeah.
Yeah, literally. I'll take playoffs if we beat Cardiff on Saturday.
Yeah. Well, that could be the catalyst, though. That could be a massive catalyst. Who knows? That might be the turning point of this rut, if you like. And I think that's a good place to end it. We will try and do, as a tribe, I think we're going to make sure that we get something up for the Cardiff game. I don't know how we're going to approach it. Any ideas for anything we can make it? It'll be like a pre-match, but anything we can do that's a little bit more than a pre-match. I think I put out on Twitter asking everyone, what is your favourite South Wales derby memory? So if you could put that in the comments, maybe we can discuss some of those things in the video. I know Chris put something about the referee getting it by a coin in the last match in Indian Park.
Yeah.
So that's one example. So let us know in the comments what your favourite memory is from a South Wales derby. Don't forget, as always, subscribe if you're not subscribed already. We're trying to hit the 1,000 mark, so we've had a really good month so far. So help us keep up. Our next goal will probably be like 300, so nearly halfway between 200 and 300. Leave a like on the video as it helps more people see our content and lets us grow as a channel. As I said, get engaged in the comments. Let us know what you think. Let us know about the Cardiff moment and what you think the score's going to be. And we'll see you in the next video. So cheers for joining me, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers.
See you soon.
Hopefully we'll be celebrating a win next time we're all on.
Yeah.
Fuck Cardiff.